Welcome to Daily Vibes. I'm your boy Ali with my boy Chris. How you doing today, sir?
Good, man. How you doing?
You looking fresh, man. I like that shirt.
There we go.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. No, had an event to go to today. It's pretty nice. You saw the profile.
I did.
Yeah,
I think it's like 48 likes and counting in like 40 minutes.
I'm not trying to keep
You
up with it. I'm not going to
popular?
say I'm Facebook famous, but...
Hey, you're getting up there. You're getting up there.
Yeah.
All right, right now we're talking about Kendrick Lamar's new album, Damn.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard it, right?
Of course.
I'm sure you heard it. It's the topic. It's the Hollywood topic for the past month.
Exactly.
How good this album is. What do you think about it?
I text you the night of that I almost was in tears of how good this hip hop album was, how good he is on this album, how true to himself he was, as well as you understood the message that he was trying to get across.
What's your favorite? If you were to pick
I
a
have to
song,
choose.
if you were to choose a song, what's your favorite song in the album?
If I have to choose, Duckworth mainly because of the story and how it just brought the whole album together. The last song of the album, it didn't really feel like an outro. It made you want more.
Yeah, I mean, I just love Duckworth because, like you said, the story. I mean, most of people didn't know this about him. The fact that the guy who signed him, who's in charge of the record label Top Dog, was involved in an accident where he could have killed his father, Kenny Duckworth, but he didn't, and that's the reason we have K. Dot now. We could have not had K. Dot. We wouldn't even have this conversation had he actually killed Kenny Duckworth. But it's amazing how he weaves this story so well because he's such a tremendous lyricist and he's such a great MC. It's just amazing how he tells the story.
The beginning of that song was, you didn't even really tell the story.
Right?
And the story came out of nowhere.
And then
it hits you slowly as you like, oh my God.
And then as soon as he says like, pay attention, and then he tells you exactly why he told you everything previously, and just like, then once the song is over, you're just like, wow, that's insane. And
I literally sat there in complete darkness. Like when I finally got through, I just sat there and looked at myself like, what did I just listen to? Like a legit masterpiece.
I remember the first time I truly listened to that song Duckworth and like zoned out everything. I was on the way to Champaign to visit my brother, and like as soon as it was over, I was just like paused all the music and I was like, wait, what? Really? Like I was just like, holy crap, this is insane. And the fact
great song.
And it's not the only one. Obviously, the DNA, Element, I mean, Loyalty,
Love.
Triple X, Love. I mean, the whole album, top to bottom, the way he goes from song to song, and the transitions are just seamless. And it's just, could you say, like, so far, best album of the year, right? There's nobody that's even come close.
Hands down, best album of the year. Because, I mean, like, as I always say about albums, you have to really soak it in, let it sit in your brain, before you can truly appreciate it. And I've listened to the album almost 12 times now, and I'm still able to appreciate such greatness.
I mean, you mentioned Brain. Speaking of Brain, Aaron Hernandez recently committed suicide. The troubled 25-year-old tight end who used to play for the New England Patriots.
Correct.
Allegedly killed 3 people, allegedly committed suicide. We don't want to really dive into that because it's a touchy subject, but his family asked that his brain be released for scanning to see if he had possibly had CTE, which is, if you don't know about that, it was in the movie Concussions. CTE is a disease that some of the NFL players suffer from once they retire that usually affects their brain and causes them to do things that they normally wouldn't do. So do you see that there's any chance that if he had CTE, it had a play in him committing suicide and the murders that he was accused of?
If anything, I wouldn't say that the murders are like a sign of CTE, but definitely the suicide, given the fact that he was on trial. He was on trial. He got acquitted of 2 of the 3 murders. Because of that acquittal, he was gonna be able to appeal the next one. It was said that there was evidence that he was gonna be set free to show that he didn't do the one he was in jail for this whole time. And it's very sad.
And the fact that the sad thing about it too is that CTE is such a tragic disease that a lot of NFL players suffer from because obviously it's such a violent sport and there's so much helmet-to-helmet, head-on-head contact that the brain really can't take on so much. It can only absorb so much without making damages inside. So a lot of players have suffered from CTE, like the examples you saw in the movie Concussions from some of those players. So I think it's important that the NFL starts really taking this more seriously, making sure that players avoid being in harm in the future.
Yeah, as we talked about a little bit earlier in the day, as you said, they need to make sure players do not go back in when they have any sort of concussion-like symptom. Let them rest and sit out for the game, no matter how. I mean, I understand if you might think it's the Super Bowl, but certain things like that, they have to sit out for the long run instead of temporary things like, you know, championship might not be as temporary, but, you know, they can't, in the long run, they have to think about their selves, think about their family. And, you know, tell those players you can't come back in the game because you either have a concussion or concussion-like symptoms, because the NFL can't keep continuing cutting
they don't want to
checks.
keep paying because, they want to make sure that their players are healthy because it's important to be able to sell tickets and have the entertainment that the NFL is. But also in the future, when these players retire, they have families, friends, kids, children. You want to make sure that they're fully healthy.
That's why you're starting to see players like Patrick Willis. They're retiring early.
Yeah,
at the
then
age of
the
28.
other linebacker from the San Francisco
Exactly.
49ers as well.
They're
So
25 to 26, and they're retiring from the NFL because they don't want any long-term damage done, and they know right now the NFL isn't directly doing all that they can to ensure their safety.
All right, well, it was a pleasure, my man. It was a pleasure.
Always good to speak to you, man.
Yeah, two good topics right there. Oh, man, all right.
Dapping me.
Make sure you tune in next time for Daily Vibes with Chris and Ali.